22 mag, can it and does it rival 380 ACP? I get this comment a lot that it does, and I also get the question a lot asking if it does. And my first thought is it probably does not. So in order to try to make it rival it, what I want to do is I want to use ammo that's as fair as possible between the two when I don't have the same brand name. And I also want to use a little bit longer barrel on the 22 mag to kind of try to make this happen. So we got our 4 3/4 inch Heritage Rough Rider, and we're going to compare that against the 2 3/4 inch Ruger LCP and 380 ACP. So definitely a difference there. And why I'm using, you know, what I got going on here is Winchester Silver Tip, and this is CCI Maxi-Mag Varmint. So why I'm using the 380 ACP is because it's light for caliber. For one, it's 85 grain. It's lighter than typical. Our 22 mag is actually lighter than typical. And also our silver tip is kind of a soft lead alloy. And all the videos I've seen in the past with this Maxi-Mag TNT is it does kind of appear to be a soft lead alloy as well. That's why it shows kind of like a dynamite thing on there symbol, like it's kind of designed to expand or even fragment rapidly. So I think between the two of these, I think we're going to have a pretty fair test using this ammunition. So I'm going to go through the chronograph. I'm going to see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time to see if, you know, the power compares. And my ballistic test here, I'm going to use 1 3/4 inch pack of bologna. This kind of simulates like a pectoral muscle. We're covered by 4 layers of denim. We're followed by 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard that kind of represents like ribs or sternum, and into 10% clear ballistics gel. And this bologna pack represents about 7 inches of this. And people often ask, how did you make up that number? Well, I didn't make up that number. I simply shot some rounds into the clear ballistic with just denim on the front of it, and then I shot some rounds through the bologna pack that's covered by denim. And on average, with this bologna pack up, our rounds, you know, penetrated 7 inches or less in our clear ballistics. So pretty simple concept there. And then, as always, I'm going to shoot from 25 yards at my steel gong. A lot of people think this isn't 25 yards for some weird reason, but it is. Just to kind of see what kind of practical accuracy there is. And the reason why I do a test like that, it's pretty simple. 25 yards is pretty much your maximum engagement distance you're probably ever going to face in a self-defense situation. And, you know, this plate here is about the size of a basketball, and that has some practical uses for it. And I'll let you guys decide, you know, what the practical application for something like that is. And in our current day and age, where we have some lunatics out there shooting up people and they're wearing body armor. So let's get started with the test and see if 380 ACP can really be rivaled by 22 Magnum. All right, I'm about 5 yards from the target, 4 yards from the chronograph. First up, we have the 380 ACP. It is rated at 1,000 feet per second. Obviously, that's not going to be a rating out of a 2 3/4 inch barrel. It's probably like 4 inches or something. So we'll see how close anyways we get to 1,000 feet per second in this pistol. .937, 916, 929, 874, 889. So a pretty easy round to shoot and very reliable. One thing to be said for the silver tips is it's kind of one of those rounds that are oftentimes suggested for like little micro pocket pistols like C camps and stuff like that, because it does seem to be reliable because it's not overpowered, and that's kind of what you're looking for in a pistol like this. So let's see how that 22 mag compares. All right, 22 mag, it's rated at 2,200 feet per second. Obviously that's out of like a rifle or something like that. But let's just see what we can get out of this handgun. .1368, not bad. 1374. 1395. 1310. 1278. Let me run one more. 1337. So we had a couple that were very inconsistent. I was kind of excited at first because it seemed consistent, but we lost that consistency. So let's hit our ballistic gel block covered by those baloney packs and see how these two compare to each other. See if they're comparable, if they can rival each other. All right, first up we have our 380 ACP. Let's see what we get. All right, good shot placement there. All right, here's our baloney pack here, and what looks like is pretty good here. We impacted right here, and then here's our exit hole, a little bit larger than starting bolt diameter, so that's good. And we can see denim coming through here. Not too bad. Let's see what we got in that ballistics gel block. All right, it's kind of hard to see. That's why I put the bigger bullet further back in this. But what we're looking at here is our damage path is at 7 inches. So that's going to equal 14 inches total if it were just plain ballistics gel typically. But that's not always exactly the same because our fiberboard is going to give us a little bit more expansion than without it. So what I kind of want to do now is I want to shoot just the ballistics gel without the baloney pack and without the fiberboard, because this represents kind of a chest shot, or if we just shoot through some denim into the block, that would kind of represent a gut shot. So let's try that. All right, I'm going to put this bullet right up above that there, and we'll see what happens. Right where I wanted it. And our damage path is at exactly 14 inches. It's hard to see it, but definitely a little bit different expansion, but pretty similar. It's still expanded pretty well. Now let's move on to our 22 Magnum and see how that compares on the same type of test. All right, next up we have our 22 Magnum. Let's see what this will do through our baloney pack. Seemed to hit that really hard, in my opinion. I mean, it just felt like we had a lot more smack on this thing here. And where we impacted our MDF here definitely does look larger than 22 caliber. So definitely getting some expansion in this baloney pack. And actually the damage that I'm seeing in this baloney pack is about the same as the 380 ACP. So let's take a look inside that ballistics gel block. All right, so now we're definitely seeing a huge difference here. It's kind of hard to see this bullet, but we're at about 2.5 inches is our damage path. So that's about 9.5 inches if it were just straight gel typically, unless it doesn't expand. So let's do the same test where we're just going to shoot kind of a quote-unquote gut shot into this and see what happens. All right, no baloney pack. I'm going to put this one right next to it and see if there's a difference. There should obviously be a difference, but let's see what we get. And there's definitely a difference in that whole equation because we were seeing what would equate to about 9 inches total. But this is at about 8.5 total. So about a 1/2 inch difference there. But my bet is if we took this apart, there would be a slight difference in that bullet expansion. So whichever one is larger expanded, my guess is that one. I could be wrong. And then we'll have a little bit less penetration. But overall what I'm seeing here is kind of consistent. You know, here's our 22 mag through the baloney, here's our 380 through the baloney. Same difference here pretty much, you know. So that weight of that 380 has a little bit more momentum. It's going to very easily push a little deeper. So Not looking too good for the 22 mag, but that's not to say this isn't okay for some applications, but probably not the best personal defense round for 22 mag. So let's shoot for 25 yards and just see what kind of practical accuracy we can get. All right, here is our plate down there at 25 yards. You know, I don't practice as much as I should, but you know, doing these videos, it kind of gives me a chance to. So, you know, 25 yards away, what if all I had was this little pocket 380 LCP, you know, and there's a threat down there, and the only shot I got is a basketball sized target. So 7 rounds is all this thing will hold. So see if I can hit it. 25 yards. Let's see what we can do. Not really sure where that's hitting. Let me aim a little higher. Yeah, this round shoots real low. So, I got a failure actually to extract. So the rounds that I did hit were really challenging because I had to shoot with both eyes open. So it's definitely something you should practice, because when you have to make a shot like that, you have to have one of your eyes to be able to line up the sights and the other eye to get kind of double vision so you can actually see what you're shooting at, as where normally you don't need to do that. So a little bit of a challenge there to hit anything with that round in this. Let's try the 22 mag. All right, 22 mag. Let's see what I can do with this. Start with aiming right on it, right in the center. All right, let me try a few more. You know what? I didn't change my point of aim, but I was missing some. Maybe I was shooting it wrong because it's a single action. Let's try this. Well, about as good as the other way. So I definitely would not go to war with either of these rounds or either of these guns. I think you could do a lot better. Now, obviously, you know, the question at hand, does 22 mag rival 380? Well, I think it can in some ammo. I don't think this is the right ammo. I think if your barrel is a little bit shorter, you could probably push it deeper with less expansion. With a gun like this, you know, we got good expansion. It looked really good, but it's going to limit the penetration a little bit. So, you know, I've tested the gold, I've tested the critical defense. Both did pretty well. So what I'm definitely seeing here is a 30 grain 22 mag. Yeah, you probably want to stay away from that. You're going to want to stay, you know, between 40, probably 50 grains if you can, to really get the penetration that you need, because you're not going to get that with these lighter rounds. So do they rival each other? Well, maybe in energy, but you got to be real careful with what ammo you choose. So that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.